Assalamu alaikum, my name's Saleem Siddiqui, and thanks for watching Hot Conflict. Of course, we talk about a lot of strange and interesting and weird and paranormal stuff, and I haven't given a real disclosure or disclaimer in a while, so I want to let everybody know that I'm here with my pen at the whiteboard, so this episode might be slightly graphic in nature. Well, we've been talking about a lot of different stuff, concepts of sacred symbols and mysteries, especially in the last few episodes we talked about the concept of the triangle or the mysteries of the pyramid, and talking about how many of the ancient mystery schools, the Brotherhood, well known in Egypt, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Masonic Brotherhood, many people call them the Freemasons, use the symbol of the pyramid. And of course we have the concept of the yin and the yang, or the duality, the male and the feminine, the masculine and feminine, the opposite nature of duality of the world. And that takes us back up to understanding the Star of David, right? And last time we talked a little bit about the concepts of the pyramids pointing towards locations here, and the concept of the alternative pyramid pointing towards locations here. An upper realm and a lower realm. We talked about that concept. So we have these base symbols, like the Star of David, and we also talked about the concept of the square, right? And the encompassing of the square, right? The circle and the square, and how this symbol obviously relates to the Muslims, right? By the Kaaba, right? And we also talked about the sacred geometric square and the symbols of the craft, the circle by the compass, and the square to square your actions, the symbols of Freemasonry, right? The square and compass. Well, we've been talking about a lot of different interesting weird things, and always the yin-yang nature and the duality of the way symbols work. And of course, I've been wanting to talk about a little bit more specifically this concept of the square and the compass, and why we have the square being depicted as the divine masculine, right? And then the circle being the divine feminine. So we have this square and encircling, or circumscribing the square, right? Now, of course, there's many areas where we have this concept of the female being curved or bent, right? Of course, the concept of the rib, right? You have the torso and the ribs, right? Of the person, right? On a physical person. This area, of course, the heart. But the rib itself, the curved nature of the rib. That Adam is created. We are the sons and daughters of Adam. And Adam is created by Allah, by the clay, by the dust. And Eve is created from the rib, right? The curved rib, the right? In Arabic, they talk about the woman nature being curved, or the divine feminine is by nature curved. So then there is this concept that, you know, you're a man, you're organized, you're principled, you're a total square, right? And females by nature curve, right? These are not secret mysteries. These are things that you should have just paid attention to around just being awake, right? But there are strange concepts that where this continues to come in. Of course, when we think of this kind of curve, very much you can imagine it like a curve like a bow, that the rib is bowed, or instead of being a straight line, it's a bowed line or a curved line. So of course you have your basic you got an arrow and you got a bow, right? Bows and arrows. This is a basic early warrior concept since we're talking about spirituality and the spiritual warriors. Of course, you always hear from me, I'm a mujahid. And of course, as a mujahid, every mujahid should know how to fire a bow and arrow. And I'm not talking about guns, I'm talking about bows and arrows, actual archery recommended by the Sunnah.